Hello everybody, welcome back to Josh Dell'Aria's Musical Escapades. I'm your host, Josh Dell'Aria, and I'm really excited for today's episode. One of the goals of this channel is to show musicians how to improve their music, and so today I really wanted to focus in on that whole idea of improvement, and because of that, I actually get to offer you guys 2 songs today instead of 1. Many times I ask myself this question, is it possible for artists to improve their music, or are they always confined to a certain level of skills or level of talent that they have in the beginning of their careers? And I feel like most of the time I would want to answer that question with the answer of yes, it's possible for artists to improve their music no matter how poorly they start out. Unfortunately, I don't think most artists do actually improve their music, but over the years I have found a couple of them that I think have done a good job of improving their music, so I know that it's possible, but there might just be bands who, for whatever reason, just don't seem to follow the process of improving their music. So I went back and looked over some of the artists who had made my top 20s, and some of them who didn't make it the first time around, but then made it the second time around. And I wanted to see just if there was any improvements that those artists made to make it to the top 20 on their second go. So one band that didn't make the top 20 on its first chance, but did on the second chance, was The Strange Familiar. Now, if that band sounds familiar to you, chances are you watched a show called Pretty Little Liars. And the reason why I mention that is because one of their songs was actually featured on one of their episodes. I don't know which episode it was because I don't actually watch the show. I just found the band in a different way. But I feel as though a lot of you might have actually heard this song on the show and probably didn't know the band name that actually played it unless you went to look it up. So that's why I mentioned them. I did mention I was going to play 2 songs of theirs, and that's true, I am going to play 2 songs of theirs. The first one I'm going to play is that song that was played on Pretty Little Liars. It's called Runaway Heart. And then after that I'm going to play another song that they released on an album a couple years later called Rain that actually made my top 20 back in 2014. So I'm going to play these back to back here, no interruptions, and then I'll come back and dissect all the songs, and instead of just going through and picking out kind of what I like and what I dislike about each song, I'm going to go through it and show how The Strange Familiar improved from one song to the next.
Runaway heart, run away my heart. Hold on so tight, but I have to let go. keep on running, run away hard. Don't you ever worry about me, run away my heart. Don't you ever look back. You are the heart that beats inside of me. You are the words I long to find. You are the peace that gives me easy sleep. You are the reason I don't mind waking up to another day, facing monsters I cannot slay, playing the hero who can't feel pain. When I'm in the desert, you are the rain. You are the future that's worth fighting for. You are the song I long to write. You are the truth that keeps me wanting more. You changed my heart, you changed my mind. I'm waking up to another day, facing monsters I cannot slay, playing the hero who can't feel pain. When I'm in the desert, you are the rain. 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 I've made a lot of mistakes and I know that I'll make more, but I will give you all that I've got, even if I'm poor. I wanna show you the world one step at a time. Lots of ground to cover, you're my earth, my sky. I'm feeling overwhelmed, there's so much to say. I try to lead by example and show you the way life is hard. You make it simple for me to have faith and believe in a miracle. I'm waking up to another day, facing monsters I cannot slay, playing the hero who can't feel pain. When I'm in the desert, you are the rain. You are the rain. You are the rain. You are the rain. You are the
So Runaway Heart does have a lot of good redeeming qualities in it. Like for instance, this drum break in the first verse, where they cut out all the instruments and they just leave the drums and the vocals.
You've outgrown this place, and I can see it on your face.
And then also, I think the ending of the song was actually pretty good too. Just in the way that they ended quietly, which was it's kind of not what you expect. You kind of expect them to go back into the chorus and rehash something and go, get the instruments back into it again, but they never really do at the end. So I'm gonna play that for you too.
Run away hard, keep on running, run away hard. Don't you ever worry about me, run away my heart.
Nonetheless, there were a lot of things that held it back from the top 20 as well that they needed to improve in Rain. And so what I'm going to do from here on out for the video is kind of go through some of the things that they fell short on with Runaway Heart and how they fixed those in Rain. Let me start with the intro.
Runaway heart, run away my heart.
So they get into the title right away, which to me doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose because you really don't understand the meaning of the song at that point, right at the beginning of the song, and there's literally nothing else around it. They're just singing the title. So it just doesn't make sense for them to put it in there. And also, too, the instruments do sound really cheesy. That violin line in the background, it just seems very canned. On the other hand, in the intro to Rain, there seems to be pretty much nothing cheesy about it, and they don't mention the title, they don't even have any lyrics to the intro, and it just flows a lot better. So, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the last little bit there sounds like it's almost like a 2/4 measure. It's actually convinced me that this entire song is actually in 2/4, although I'm not certain that's true, but that's what I believe anyways. But to me, that the intro does do a lot better of a job of just bringing in the song and bringing the listener to come to at least get a sense of the mood of the song. The other big improvement they made from one song to the next was in the bridge. And I really felt like what really held back Runaway Heart from making the top 20 was this bridge that just seems to be really empty and doesn't seem to add a whole lot to the song. You never really want that in your bridge because the bridge should be kind of the pinnacle of your song. And so let me play that bridge from Runaway Heart for you. So, as you can tell, they just keep repeating that line, "If you're gonna go far," which is all right. It's a decent repeat, but again, there's nothing else around that to add to the song, and then they just go into the final chorus from there. So, and that little the ooh that they do is not very powerful. It's not very. It doesn't add a whole lot to the song. So, let me show you how they improved that in Rain.
I've made a lot of mistakes and I know that I'll make more, but I will give you all that I've got, even if I'm poor. I wanna show you the world one step at a time. Let's the ground to cover. You're my earth, my sky. I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's so much to say. I try to lead by example and show you the way. Life is hard, but you make it simple. For me to have faith and believe in a miracle.
So, I think the biggest difference between those two is that the lyrics in that bridge in Rain are really kind of like the pinnacle, the driving force behind those lyrics. It's the point that it's all coming to, the kind of the biggest point of the song. And that's exactly what a bridge should do, is it should bring up the most important points of the song. So that was one of the biggest reasons why Rain made it to the top 20 as opposed to Runaway Heart. And there were also a couple of things that Runaway Heart did a good job of, that I think Rain did a little bit better job of doing that even too. So I'm going to compare the second verse of each song as well. And in each one you'll kind of notice just how well the lyrics kind of build up in each of them. But I do think it works a little bit better in Rain. So let me start with Runaway Heart. there's a nice little cutout for the drums again with the ride cymbal playing on that too at the end of that verse, which I think is really cool. Let me play you the second verse in Rain now.
You are the future that's worth fighting for. You are the song I long to write. You are the truth that keeps me wanting more. You changed my heart, you changed my mind. I'm waking.
Yeah, and that drum beat to go into the chorus is actually really cool too. Just kind of brings all that energy to a head. And lastly, I thought the repetitions that they made at the end of the second chorus in each song, and also the third chorus in Rain, I thought those were really good too. The main reason is because they hadn't really been brought out in the song all that much to that point. And I know I played the repetition at the end of the second chorus as part of the bridge in Runaway Heart. They kind of bleed into each other. I'm going to play the one for you at the end of Rain, though, too, just to kind of show you exactly what's going on.
You are the rain. You are the rain. You are the rain. You are the rain. You are the rain.
So I think what makes that repetition better in Rain is the third and the fifth times that she repeats it. So in the third time, she raises her pitch, makes her voice go up a little bit.
You are the rain.
And on the fifth time, she actually does it much more quietly.
You are the rain.
So I think that those little changes in the musicality make a big, big difference. That's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoy the music, I don't think the Strange Familiar is still around. They may have disbanded. I just looked on their website, and their website doesn't have anything on it at this point. And their Facebook page hasn't been updated, I think, since the beginning of last year. So I don't know if they're still around or what they're doing. But nonetheless, I'm sure you can find some of their music in the past on iTunes, YouTube, all those sorts of places. In any case, my whole plan for doing this video is to lead into my next video, which I think is also going to focus on improvement for an artist that I know is currently around. So that's where I'm kind of going with all this. So if you're dying to see that video next week, make sure you hit the subscribe link at the end of the video. And if you like this video, slap at that like button like you slap at a bass. And I do already have my plan for next week, but for 2 weeks from now, I'd be really open to taking a subscriber choice for my next video. So, if you have any idea of a band you'd like to see me play, mention it in the comments below. And if it's good, I'll get it on my not next video, but the video after next. If you're a musician and you would like to be featured on the show, email us here at joshdell'ariasmusicalescapades@gmail.com. Again, that's joshdell'ariasmusicalescapades@gmail.com. Or you can message us on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/JoshD'sMusicalEscapades, and we will let you know the submission process from there. And until next time, go make great music!